Should you play Potion Permit? That's what this review is going to be all about, but rather than doing a review where I show you like different clips of gameplay, I'm just going to let the gameplay go on in the background here. Because what you see in this 10, 20, however long this review ends up being, is the entirety of the game. And I know that's going to sound really negative, and honestly, it kind of is negative. If you want to skip through this entire thing and not listen to it, it's hard to recommend Potion Permit as a game. It's got mini games that are boring at best, but slow and tedious at worst. It's got characters, lots of characters. They tout 30 plus characters who all have no personality, no reason to talk to them. It's heavy grinding. You know, if you come into this expecting Stardew Valley, you're going to be sorely disappointed. And that's exactly what happened to me. Is I was like, oh, this looks exactly like Stardew Valley. So there'll probably be a little bit of farming. There'll be people to learn. There'll be mines. There'll be, you know, seasons, events, and all that sort of thing. And that's what we're missing. There's no seasons. So it's the same day every single day. There's no weather. So there's no raining, no snowing, no bad effects there. Everything is always static. In Stardew Valley, when you go into the mines, you never know what you're going to expect. You might have bad luck, you might have good luck, you have different enemies, different floor layouts. Here, everything is the same every single day. The ingredients that you want are going to be in the same spot every single time. The enemies, same spot every single time. And therein lies the problem of the game. If you enjoy doing the same thing over and over, a grind over and over, then this game might be for you. But again, if you're looking for Stardew Valley, Harvest Moon, Rune Factory, this just really isn't it. So a couple positives. What you see now is my favorite part of the game in the potion making. You know, potion permits, so the potion making should be the best part of the game, right? And that's what we have here, is basically as you collect ingredients, they all fit like different Tetris pieces onto a puzzle board, and you've got to solve the puzzle. And this is completely up to you how you can do it. Different ingredients can fit in different places, so there's no one set recipe. You can use different recipes, you can play around, use different ingredients, use only what you have, use rare and exotic ingredients that have more power to get through faster, you know, use easier to find ingredients that require a little, you know, more grinding. Honestly, I would almost much rather the game just be this, some sort of Tetris puzzle simulator, rather than all the added on parts they put into it that make the game such a slog and a bore. And this game actually changed my opinion on Stardew Valley, because I wasn't a huge fan of all like the events in Stardew Valley. Like once you go to them once or twice, there's no point in going to them again, right? You've already done it, you've already experienced it. But I realized without having those things, it just becomes so repetitive. There's nothing to look forward to. There's nothing that's going to shake it up. There's nothing that's different about it. It's simply just the same day over and over and over. It's almost like a Groundhog Day. You just wake up, you go farm your materials, you go talk to people to level up your friendship, you go to bed, and then you wake up and it's the same day over again. You go back out, harvest the same materials, go back to town, talk to the same people, and you just repeat and repeat and repeat. And that's honestly, I'll go into about the people right here, right now. That's the problem with the people, is they're boring and uninteresting. Rather than Stardew Valley, where you start off where like everyone's like, oh, you're the new farmer, that's cool. Everyone hates you for some reason, the chemist before you mess something up, so everyone's just like, hey, I hate you. Okay, now you go talk to them every single day for 2 weeks, and they might change their dialogue once, but for that whole week, you're going to be talking to them and just hear, hey, I hate you. Hey, I hate you. Hey, I hate you. Like, what's the point? What's the point of having 30 different characters if they have only one line of dialogue per level of friendship? It's boring. There's no reason to talk to these people, and even when they give you a little insight into their personality, it's so dry that they don't feel like characters. They don't feel like people. One of the romance options, Martha, someone who I have a higher friendship level with, you know, you talk to her and she says, hey, you're an out-of-towner. I got lost a lot, so ask me if you need directions. So I talked to her, got to level 2 friendship. Then she said, I like to make cookies. Would you like to eat some cookies? And then she said that for a whole week of talking to her. And then on the third one, she basically says, I can't wait to make you some cookies. Like, that's terrible dialogue. These characters have no dimension to them. They're just, and that's a highlight. I can't even tell you what any of the other characters even care about or talk about, because it's all the same one-line, boring, flat, one-dimensional, terrible dialogue. And the enemies are the same way. As you can see here, I was going and harvesting some enemies and harvesting some stuff for potions. Again, they're all in the same area, the same place every single time. And it's just, they're boring and they're predictable. They do the same exact thing. There's no challenge. You see, I don't even bother dodging half the time because it's not like they're going to knock me out, so what's the point? You have 3 different tools when you go out to harvest things. You need the hammer to break open rocks, you need the axe to chop down trees, and the sickle to harvest certain roots, vegetables, and flowers. Occasionally you'll run into an enemy that requires a specific weapon, such as shield enemies need the axe and armored enemies need the hammer. And this was cool for about 10 seconds, and then you realize that you're switching back and forth every single time you want to go harvest something because they put, trees, rocks, and flowers all in the same area. So you walk up, harvest a tree, swap to the hammer, swap to the sickle, and as you're swapping back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, it just feels so tedious. It doesn't satisfy, it doesn't reward you in any way, it's just wasting time. You can see there I was trying to feed my dog every single day. He gets hungry, and at first it gives you benefits for giving him food because he ranks up and you can do a couple new tricks with him. After that, I don't see a point to feeding him other than, the dog is sad, so pet and feed him. And we should definitely talk about how much of a waste the food is in this game. So you can collect some ingredients that don't go into potions, such as honey, corn, truffles, ginger, because that's used for cooking. Cooking requires you upgrade your kitchen, so I spent all the massive amount of resources that you have to grind to get the kitchen, only to find out that it's basically, there's no minigame. With a game filled with minigames, I thought the cooking would be a minigame. But no, it just says throw these ingredients in here and it makes something for you, and it's almost completely a waste of time. The food gives you almost no benefits. You're better off going home and then going to the bathhouse to instantly restore everything rather than cooking a whole bunch of food and wasting your time on harvesting those food resources that then turn into food that again does almost nothing for you. I will compliment this feature though. I told my dog to find an NPC and they will run directly to that NPC, which is something that I wish was in Stardew Valley and all the games like this. It's so, again, tedious and unfun to try and find that certain NPC you're looking for. So to have your dog be able to just say, here they are directly whenever you want to find them is such a blessing. And honestly, this is going to be my biggest compliment for the game is that feature, and then a feature that allows you when it's time for your heart events, like in Stardew Valley, when you get to 2 hearts, you have to trigger an event by going to a very certain location at a certain time and talking to an NPC. In this game, they just put it on a board and tell you directly, this NPC wants to talk to you, here's the day and the time that you can see them, and that is such a blessing. One of the main complaints I have with Stardew Valley, which is a near perfect game, but there are still some flaws, is how much the game basically just either expects you to write everything down, or you're spending every 5 seconds like, okay, put down the game, Google where this NPC is. Okay, put down the game, Google what that NPC likes. Okay, Google their schedule, where they're going to be tomorrow, when's their birthday. There's a lot that takes you out of the game, and this keeps you in the game by giving you those features on very accessible, easy points. Every game that is going to copy, the farming simulator, it's going to be Harvest Moon, there's going to be the next Stardew Valley, there's going to be the next Potion Permit, needs to have these features 100%. It is the best idea to come to this genre, period. Next, let's complain about the fast travel, which is strange because I never thought I'd find myself complaining about fast travel. Fast travel is convenient, it's awesome. Why would you not want it in a game? The town has 2 fast travel points, and the town itself maybe takes 20 seconds to run across. So that begs the question, why is your town so boring that it needs multiple fast travel points so you don't have to look at it? And I mean, the town looks nice, like visually, it's not like it hurts your eyes or anything, but the town is static, it never changes, and it's filled with boring people that I don't care about, so it makes the town boring as a whole. Here you can see that I'm upgrading my cauldron, which is bittersweet. I actually like having a limit to how much I can put on a potion, but I know that I'll need to upgrade it eventually. But let's talk about the upgrades. The upgrades are nothing but a grind. It's literally go fetch me 200 lumber, 200 stones, and 1,000 or 2,000 gold, and that's it. It's just a grind, and it's just nothing more creative than a grind, and that's where the grinding issue really comes to a problem, is upgrading your tools is a massive grind. When you finally unlock like friendship quests with people, it's just go out and grind some more. All the game wants you to do is grind and grind and grind. And that would almost be acceptable if it randomized some things, changed it up, gave it a little bit of a challenge, but it's just the same thing in and out, in and out, in and out. Here's another one of those mini games I was talking about that's just, boring, maybe tedious. You just jam X as fast as you can and you need to do that 10 times in the 15 seconds or so they provided. Like, it's barely a mini game. Like, this is an Atari game is more entertaining than this mini game. I think Mario Party has set the standard for what a mini game should be, and while obviously they can't put Mario Party level mini games for every single thing, in a game filled with mini games, to have them boring is just a travesty. If you've watched this far, you'll see that the day is almost over, which means it's about time for me to go back to my house and sleep and then start the day again at 6 o'clock. And what will happen when I do that? I'll go outside, I'll teleport to the ingredient place where everything is the same, I'll harvest the same ingredients, I'll teleport back to town, I'll talk to the same people I already talked to today, I might make a potion or two, and then go to bed, and then I'll go do it again. There are so many little things that could make this game better that I have to question why didn't they include. The minigame where you're jamming X for the grapes. Okay, why aren't there levels of difficulty? Why can't I do a level 2, a level 3, a level 4, a level 5 for more money that get progressively more difficult that keep it interesting? Why did they make the potion ingredients static? Why not have them, even if you want to have, okay, these 3 ingredients grow in this area, why not have them grow in slightly different areas or randomize where they grow within the areas so it's a little bit different every time, or the enemies are a little bit different? Why not make the food the food making a minigame? Everything else is a minigame. Why isn't the food making a minigame? And I know I've complained about the grind, but I'm going to gripe about one more thing on it, in that a lot of people call this a cozy game. It's not meant to be played for hours and hours on end, which, fair enough. But if you were only to invest 20 or 30 minutes into this, like a short stream, or pick it up and play it for 20 minutes before bed, you would never get anything done. Like, I've probably been grinding at the game for 10, 15 hours at this point, and I'm still only in the second area, so if you were only casually playing it for 20 minutes here or there, you would never make any progress, and that feels terrible too. So is this game worth the $20 price tag? I would only say yes if you know going into it that you absolutely love grinding games. You love games that are just horrible, tedious mini games and doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. But if you don't enjoy that, I would say maybe pick it up on a sale. I have a feeling that, within 6 months this game will probably be in the $5 bargain bin, and for $5 I think you could probably get 5 to 10 hours of entertainment out of it. I will also say I fear that there's a deluxe edition that costs even more, where they add in like decorations and other things like that, which makes me fearful that they are going to add on to the game, but it's just going to be DLC. They're going to charge you for like things that look nice or additional things to put in your house, which always makes for frustrating extra money. Like, you cut content just so that you could sell it back to me as a DLC, or you look at The Sims where it's just like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for, a different couch. Like, it doesn't make sense, and I don't like that, and this game is not worth it for that. So overall, I'd give this game like a 4 or maybe a 5 out of 10. Like, if I was bored and had absolutely nothing else to do, I might pick it up for a little bit, but I wouldn't go out of my way to play it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you've made it this far, I truly appreciate it. Please make sure to like and subscribe. That helps my channel a lot. I really appreciate all you guys do for me. Thank you so much, and have a blessed day.